Quick announcement before we start, I got some new UGC with a talisman theme if you want to check it out. These are inspired by a Limbus Company character with the red sheet design, but it's usable on basically any character. With the tag itself, it's customizable to fit with any hair, and the patches can be used to cover one or both of your eyes. There's multiple colors and room to mix and match, so check them out and comment down below what you want to see next. Also, join my group down below and follow me on Roblox for even more UGC content. What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're back again with another weekly Deepwoken update. There's some really cool stuff I do want to talk about, so I'll do my best to test and tell you everything you need to know. Coming from last week, we received a fully new secret legendary weapon with the wheel and woe. This option is pretty cool, but I don't know how good it actually is. Overall, it wasn't too insane, but I am impressed of the secret summoning ritual involved with this spear. But that was last time, let's get ready for this week's update. As always, the best way to experience everything new is to hop in game and try it out for yourself. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can hit 115k, and let's get into it. Beginning with some overall changes to combat, which is honestly pretty big, we have the entire rework of the critical system. Essentially, every single critical on every single weapon has been internally reworked and organized for consistency in an attempt to remove move stacking and other actions that should not be happening during crits. If you're able to use criticals during an ability you probably shouldn't be able to, this new system is in place to prevent some of that jank. Bugged criticals should also no longer break your character in the future, and this is a good thing. The same has been done at a slightly smaller scale for mantras, tracking and constraining what actions can be done inside of the animation, so overall it's been cleaned up and made more consistent. Moving on to the largest addition added today, we have a whole new dynamic system for damage indicators. Previously, some moves that were unblockable or undodgeable had a red symbol and sound effect that told the player that you gotta move, but now it's much more in depth. With this new telegraphing system, there's multiple symbols with a specific color which indicate what defense needs to happen, and it's going to change based on damage. The more damage something is going to be dealing, the larger the symbol will be for each player, but the color is going to stay the same. There's 6 different symbols in total that we have to think about. For instance, a red symbol means unblockable and it looks like this with its own unique sigil design. Something like Ice Eruption or Radiant Dawn is going to be resulting in a red symbol. A green symbol means that this is only parryable and it can be found on something like the 4th critical proc of Light's Final Toll. There's a total of 6 different indicators, but I'm not sure if each of them are set up or implemented fully, or if they're set up for the future. Overall, this new system is going to be something you gotta learn, but for bosses and monsters that have their own arena and are controlled, this is going to be huge to understand how they fight and how players have to react. I see this as a positive change, but it's pretty hard to just understand at a first glance. Leave your thoughts down below. For even more overview to the base combat, ritual casting honestly might have been fixed. There's been a really strange bug going around where other keybinds and abilities would trigger and pause ritual casting, which was just really annoying and honestly unavoidable. At times, players would press X to use their mantra, but it could pop Phantom Step or even Iron Sing's pull, stopping the entire process. Hopefully this has all been fixed, I'm not too sure, but we'll see what this means for gameplay. Anyway, moving into the game, we have some adjustments for content and overall systems that are worth mentioning. For all of the new players out there who are getting into the game, the tutorial has been cut down substantially, making it much more concise and easier to follow. The tutorial has been segmented into chapters that require a lot less back and forth interactions with the NPCs, and you can kind of do it at your own pace. Each of these chapters are pretty streamlined and easy to understand, and I think this is huge for the new player experience. Veteran players, this change probably isn't too crazy for you, but it does mean a lot for the overall Deepwoken introduction. Up next, with some really cool world building outside of the lore books, we got some changes to the depths and the monsters inside. Found around layer 1's depths, you should notice small clusters of worms that appear and pop out of the ground. In-game, they're fairly harmless and add to the environment, making it much less empty, but they're actually a system with lore tied to them. In the depths, time flows a little bit differently, and the divers use these worms as a reference to tell the time. Every 10 minutes in real life, worms will pop up and last for 10 minutes, then they'll go away and have a 10-minute cooldown and repeat the process after coming back. Anyway, these guys add a lot more life into the depths, which honestly had some empty space while making it a bit more dynamic in the lore. Besides that, world events and their map pop-outs have finally been fixed, which is something that I've actually been waiting for. So instead of blindly wandering around trying to investigate where the world boss is, you can pop your map and press M and view the threat instead. It's It's a lot more streamlined and easier for player interaction, and showcases the actual largeness of each boss since it's on the map. Additionally added to the Enmity boss, during its pull move, this VFX has been updated and it's a whole lot cooler. There's an indicator on the player that kind of glows and shows the icon of Enmity, and there's bonus effects as well as sound effects which are new. Since this boss is probably the hardest in Deepwoken, I'm glad it's getting the attention and I guess updates that it deserves. Moving into some weapon changes for this week, we finally received a new addition to the Falchion with an entirely reworked critical. Beforehand, this weapon was kinda slept on and didn't do anything different with a base sword crit, but now the times have changed. Using the new Falchion critical, we step back into a pose dealing damage with a single-handed slash that snipes targets from range. The chip damage on this ability is kinda crazy, and it's a cool mix-up roll catch that's pretty unique. Also, the alloyed Falchion has been visually updated, making its blade and hilt a darker metal instead of the lighter one. Overall, let me know your thoughts down below because I think it's pretty cool. Next, with a small change to echo upgrades, all weapon upgrades have been separated so you can buy the one you really want, instead of spending echoes on the ones you didn't want to buy to build up and earn the specific weapon. You can now choose. Additionally, there's also a new option that allows players to start with leather gloves and boots, so it's basically just a head start and nothing too crazy. Up next, with some balancing and fixes, we got a few game-changing adjustments that are going to shake up a lot for the meta. For starters, in Layer 1 and only Layer 1, if a player is hit by Paralytic Dust, the Sleep Bell, they can no longer take any damage in that status. This isn't an over-exaggeration. You cannot hit players with M1s, mantras, anything. It totally shuts down the one-tap cheese that people abused in the depths, and that's good. So, additionally, Grand Skewer, the talent for Grand Javelin that pushes people back with the mantra, has been disabled in Layer 1, so you can't insta-kill anymore with that crazy talent. Overall, these are massive changes, but they still exist outside of Layer 1, so it's kinda like a temp fix. And with that, this week's content comes to a close. As always, hop in game for weekly battle royale and check out all the new stuff too. Comment what you think down below and I'll tell the devs. Thank you once again to all the supporters who motivate me daily and directly help out on this channel as members, and you can join too if you like. Besides that, my own personal Discord, guild Discord, and my UGC group are linked, so check them out. Thanks once again, and make sure to like and subscribe so I can hit 115K. It's punching time.